Hi guys, what's going on? Welcome to another video. So in this video, I kind of want to it isn't directly an Albion video, so don't feel you have to watch it. Basically, all I plan on doing is just giving people a little bit of an explanation as to who I am. It's something that people have been asking more and more over the last couple of days, and it's just easier for me to have all of this in one place and just refer them to one video. So we're going to talk basically, I'm just going to tell you about things like my gaming history, what I've done before. We're going to go through all of it. But yeah, so my sort of gaming history, so to speak, started off playing Dark Age of Camelot with my dad, actually. I was very, very young. I'm potentially like 4 or 5, maybe. I definitely wasn't very old at the time. And I remember playing Dark Age and making what I can only presume was like a hunter or a ranger sort of class. I was so young, I don't really remember the game too much. But I remember being set up on my dad's account and started to do a couple of things, go out killing mobs, and a player whispered me, and I just had no concept that there was other people playing the game. It was just such an abstract thing to me. I was so young. That I just didn't know how to respond. And I just completely ignored him. And this guy just got more and more irate and angry because I think I was just taking mobs off him. I was like mob tagging. I didn't even know what obviously it was at the time, but I was basically just mob tagging and taking mobs that he needed, and he was just getting really, really annoyed, really frustrated, to a point that he just started angrily swearing at me. Obviously, my dad then came over, took me off, explained to me about it, explained to me how sort of an MMO works. It gave me a basic understanding of how to use the chat, and I got on fine. But I don't really remember too much from Dark Age, just because obviously I was so young. Following that, I played Star Wars Galaxies. Star Wars Galaxies was probably the game I had the most fun in. That's probably my favourite MMO of all time. I remember before the combat upgrade, for anyone that did play Star Wars, I remember before the combat upgrade playing Combat Medic into Commando into Bounty Hunter. Being quite a well-known and respected bounty hunter. My dad basically progressed a completely opposite route and went up towards being a Jedi. But yeah, it was really fun. That is a game that I sort of discovered what it's like for PvP. It definitely unlocked something in me to know that I really enjoyed PvP in that. But yeah, it was a good game. We then moved on to WoW, and WoW was a weird one. So I started playing WoW from the beta of vanilla. Like, we're talking to a point when rogues in WoW had shields. Well, they didn't have shields, they had bucklers. Literally that long ago. It was such a new thing, and it was such a massive thing as well, that we all started playing. I think there was about 7 of us or so that started playing together. We all got on really well. My first character in WoW was a mage. So mage in every game has kind of held a special place for me. And it took me, I think it was about a year and 4 months to get to 60. But I never reached 50. When 50 was the cap, I never actually reached it. I just was not very good at leveling. I'm still not very good at leveling, in truth. But yeah, so I played Fire pretty much all the way up, got to 60 and hit Sergeant, which for anyone who played Vanilla WoW knows that that's like the 3rd PvP ranking. It was not hard to get. Pretty much anyone that played the game in any manner got it. But yeah, it was definitely, again, an introduction into me playing PvP, and I really enjoyed it. We then sort of fast forward into Burning Crusade. Now, Burning Crusade, that was me starting school properly, which made it a little bit harder to obviously play. But still, I played with my dad, who again who actually made a Frost Mage. So between us, we were running double Mage, which back in Burning Crusade was just a terrible thing to do outside of like really competitive 3s. But yeah, so he played a Frost Mage, I played Fire, and I remember basically just pushing up the rating just so that we could unlock the weapons. So anyone who didn't play WoW back in Burning Crusade, you used to have to get a certain rating to unlock weapons, to unlock your PvP armor. So it was a case of going through and getting like one rating to get, I don't know, your leg armor, and then keep going to get your like headpiece, then keep going to get something else, and then eventually the last one was your weapon, and that was a rating of like 2200 or something, I believe, but it was really high and really hard to get. But I remember hitting that back in Burning Crusade and being like, oh, this is really fun, this is really easy. Not actually knowing how difficult that was to achieve, and we ended up getting a title at the end of that season through nothing other than just basically pure luck. We didn't know, we weren't going for it, we were going for our weapons, and we just kind of stumbled across it. But it really kind of unlocked something in me that I wanted to push for titles, and that mage has gone... Wow, he's been rank 1 twice, basically. I've then played a DK in Wrath, so I swapped completely to Wrath to a DK and played DK just to death. That was another one that I really enjoyed. I'm trying to think what else I've played. But playing DK, I actually played more PvE during Wrath because the team that I was playing PvP with quit for a while during Wrath. So I went towards the PvE side. I started playing with... Towards the back end of Burning Crusade, I started playing with a guild known as the Brotherhood, who hit some like rank 2s and rank 3s in the world for Black Temple. And yeah, like I said, we then went to Wrath. I started playing with the Brotherhood and Future on Nihilium. Nihilium's obviously a really well-known guild. But yeah, so I was a tank for Nihilium for a while as a DK. And yeah, I hit rank 1 DK for ICC as it was coming out. I only held it for like a couple of weeks. Basically until Shadowmourne was available, because I wasn't the first in my guild to get it. So that was a bit of a bummer, but yeah, it was definitely a fun experience. It kind of unlocked the competitiveness in me. Like, all of these experiences so far have just been about being the best player of a certain role or in a certain thing, and that's exactly what I'm about. That's kind of resonated through in everything I've done since. It's definitely a big part of me. But going on from that, I was invited to play Warhammer Online Beta, which again was another great experience. It was something to try out. I hadn't really played a beta since Vanilla WoW, so going into that one, that was quite a fun experience. However, we didn't really play it for that long. It kind of flopped in the grand scheme of things. I'm trying to think what else we went to. The Old Republic was another one, Star Wars The Old Republic, of which I was the first level 50 mercenary in the game. In the world. I went really hard on that game, and then had to go and do everything again so I could actually go and rewatch the story, because in a game that was completely story driven, I'd skipped all of it to just be number 1. But yeah, I was rank 1, and then I actually quit the game just because there was no one else that was kind of there doing anything, so it got boring for me, and went back to WoW. WoW's kind of been the one that's been steady for me through basically all the years. I always seem to return to it, play a different class every time, play it well, and then quit when I get bored and move back to it after like 3 months. But yeah, so played Star Wars The Republic. I actually think I went back to WoW after that and started... That would have been around early WoD, late Cataclysm, I believe. Oh no, it wasn't flipping WoD, it was Mists of Pandaria. It would have been Mists of Pandaria, but yeah. And yeah, I've kind of flickered between a couple of things. I've played League. League I kind of suck at. Or I sucked at for a long time. My highest rating in League was mid-plat something. I am actually leveling an account now to do a series soon. To try and push my League rating. Do a Smurf series on there just to see what I can hit now. I really want to push and just hit Diamond. I want to hit Diamond once and just be like, right, it's done, I'm happy now. But yeah, other games that I've played outside, I played a lot of things like Division, shooters, Call of Duty. Obviously every kid's play Call of Duty now. But yeah, outside of the gaming world, I've boxed to a professional level. I've played rugby for London Irish, an English team based, funny enough, near London. Um, I've done MMA and trained with professional MMA fighters. I'm trying to think what else I've done. I played football, but was terrible at that because it was too much of like a pansy game for me. I just couldn't wrap my head around not being able to completely tackle someone. But yeah, basically the whole sort of thing of this story is I'm really competitive, I'm really elitist, and that is just something that has stuck with me through every single game I've played. I've always wanted to be the best, I've always wanted to be number one. But yeah, so for everyone that was asking who I am, where I've come from, what I've done before, this is it. This is what I'm about. I hope this sort of brings a little bit of a light into people. I know a couple of people were asking what I've done before, that sort of thing. So yeah, I hope this helps. I hope this is something you wanted to see. But yeah, guys, like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Tell me what you've done before. Tell me where you've come from, what you've done. Please, I'm really interested to learn. Like, everyone's got their own story that have kind of got them into this, and it's so interesting to hear people's. It really is. So like I said, guys, please leave comments below. Tell me where you've come from. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys, and catch you later. Goodbye.